Assalamualaikum and good day to all. So today we continue the topic of heuristic in games, which is in chapter 4. Okay. So before we go further, so let's recap about the first games, heuristic in games that we have gone through, which is Minimax. Okay. So for Minimax, okay, if you see, okay, so what happened here is in Minimax, in Minimax, you have two player, which is Min and Max. Okay, so basically, so basically, we want to predict, who will win, either Max or Min. Okay, so in order to predict who will win, so we go note by note, based on leaf node and non-leaf node. So where at max level you give value, maximum value among the children to the parent. At minimum level you give the minimum value, or minimum state, you give the minimum value of the children to its parent. And to identify or predict the path for Max to win, you have to follow the path of not equal, where not equal to 1. And for Min to win is you follow the path of not equal to 0. Okay, so that is Minimax. Okay, so if you imagine Minimax, you have a lot of levels of the tree. Okay, the depth is very deep lah. Okay, so here, okay, so just imagine the time taken for you to go through leaf, non-leaf, and label everything. Okay, so we want to save the time. So when we want to save the time, so what happened is we can prune. Okay, so prune is where you don't have to look into the successor node, because even the node here can give a significant value. So this one doesn't change anything. You don't have to go through all the hassle, or the you can save the time taken for you to traverse or trace to this particular not relevant nodes. Okay, so for Minimax, actually the search is exponential, meaning that the deeper the tree, so the more time you take in order to search and label all the tree, all the nodes in the tree. Okay, so when we do pruning, okay, we can compute the correct decision. Okay, so the correct decision can help us in minimizing the checking of each node in the tree. So no need to go through all the nodes, because you already prune. Okay, so in order for us to prune, okay, so there are two variables involved, which is alpha, where alpha is the highest value found. Okay, since it's highest value, so the initial value for alpha we give negative infinity, so that we can get all the bigger value, okay, for alpha. And then beta is the lowest, please correct this one, lowest value, okay, where because it's the lowest, it want to find the lowest value, give it the highest value. Okay, so when we compare, we can get the lowest value for beta. Okay, so now that is alpha beta pruning. Okay, so and also you must remember that it is based on, the search is based on depth first fashion. So meaning that for depth first, you go forward through all the nodes until the leaf nodes. Okay, so then what happened is when you find the leaf, so you can backtrack. So this is forwarding, this is backtracking to the parent. Okay, so if the parent have other sibling, other children, so you can go forward again. So that is their first fashion. Okay, so when we when the alpha beta pruning have the deafest fashion, so what happened is there are 4 rules for you to follow. So max, when you are at state max, okay, or level max, so you have to update alpha. When you are at state min, you have to update beta. Okay, and then for the backtracking, this one, backtracking to the parent. So what happened is the node value are passed to the parent. Okay, and when you are forwarding, here forwarding, so meaning that forwarding, down, you go forward. So what happened is the value alpha and beta are passed to the child. Okay, so this is the rule. And then of course the most important one, the condition, this condition. So when you want to prune or you want to discard either a branch or a leaf without going through it, so you have this particular condition, alpha is bigger or equal to beta. Okay, so that is the 4 rules that you have to remember for alpha beta pruning. Okay, so remember back rule number 1. So at max state, you have to update only alpha level. At min state, you only have to update beta value. Alpha value for max, beta value for min, and this is another alpha value for max state. Okay, and then you can do 3 and 4, whether forwarding number 4 front or backward. So backward, so after you have gone through all the children, you can go backward back to the parent. Okay, so that is alpha beta pruning. Okay, let's see what is the first step. Okay, so the most important step is, the first one is to do forwarding, because you want to go to the leaf. So the forwarding involve alpha and beta value to be passed to the children. So A pass the value to B, B pass the value to D. Okay, so now alpha and beta of course have negative infinity, and beta gets infinity value. Okay, so for D now, what D have to do? Again, remember at max state, you have to update alpha. Okay, so now to update alpha, so because it is max, so you have to compare. So max negative infinity and what? Compare with the heuristic value here, 2. So of course 2 is maximum. Okay, now we get 2. It is the new alpha value. Okay, so now we have another children here, right? Another children. Okay, so what happened should be, okay, so the children, either we want to traverse or not, we want to go through or not, so we check whether we can prune or not. So is alpha bigger or equal to beta? Okay, so alpha now is 2. Is it bigger or equal to 3? Sorry, infinity. Sorry, so it should be infinity. Okay, so this one infinity. Okay, so back to here. Okay, so alpha. Okay, so alpha, is it bigger or equal to beta? So alpha is 2, beta is infinity. So of course infinity is bigger. So this particular node cannot be pruned. So what happened is, when we cannot prune, so we have to check the value. So check again the value of alpha. Okay, so max for alpha now is 2, and compare it with the heuristic value of 3. Okay, so of course 3 is bigger. So now alpha value is 3. Okay, and what happened to D? D doesn't have any node value yet. So you get the value from the children. Okay, so either 2 or 3, because this is max. The level now is max. So of course D gets 3, which is the maximum value. Okay, so that's why for the next slide, so we already updated. Here alpha is 3, beta still maintain the value, and node D have the value of 3. Okay, so now we have already searched until the leaf. So now we have to go what? Forward or back? Okay, so it should be backward. So backward or backtracking. So the note value are passed. So check back number 3. Note value 3 are passed to B. To the parent. Okay, so now we are at B. Okay, now again the same step. So now B is at the state min. So what should be we update? Beta. So we have to update beta. So now min. So min, because we are at the state min. Min for beta, so beta is infinity, and compare it with the value now 3. So which one is the minimum? Okay, of course, beta gets the value of 3 because infinity is very big, right? Okay, so beta has the value of 3 now. Okay, so we have updated beta. So now we have other branch, right? Okay, so now we have potential to prune. So what happened is we have to what? We have to check is alpha is bigger or equal to beta. Okay, so alpha now is negative infinity. But beta is 3. Okay, of course doesn't follow or doesn't, the condition is not fulfilled. Okay, so we have to go to E. We have to go to E. So to go to E, what happened is, are we doing backward or forward? Okay, forward. So we forward. So when we forward, so what happened is alpha and beta value are passed to the child. So alpha and beta value. So now alpha is negative infinity and beta is 3. Okay, so the alpha and beta value already passed to E. So what happened? Again, the same step. Okay, so what happened is we have to update the value of who now? Alpha or beta? Okay, now we are at max state. So the value of alpha is updated. Okay, so now how to update the value of alpha? So we have max, okay, negative infinity compared to the heuristic value 5. Of course, the maximum value we get 5 here. Okay, we get 5. Okay, now there is the next branch here. Do we have to go to this branch? Okay, so again we have to evaluate the branch whether we can prune or not. Alpha equal or bigger or equal to beta. So alpha now is 5. Is it bigger or equal to beta? Now is 3. Yes. Okay, so now what? So now we can prune. So we can prune the leaf. Okay, we can prune the leaf. Okay, let's get. We can prune here. Okay, so now what happened? Okay, already done. Okay, we prune, but E doesn't have any value yet. Okay, so to get the value of E, how can we get the value of E? So since we are at state max, and also the value here has been pruned, so E got the value of 5. Okay, now what happened? Okay, so now what happened is we have to go back. Go back meaning that we have to backtrack. Backtrack to B. So backtrack to B meaning that we have to pass the value to the parent. Okay, so now B is at minimum value. Minimum. So B have 2 children, 3 and 5. So which one is minimum? Still 3. So that's why B still have the value of 3. Okay, so let's see the updated slide. Okay, so we have, okay, so now we have already just now what we do is we prune 9 and we got the value of E is 5, and also we have passed the value of 5, the value of B also have been updated, but since it's minimum, so it still have the value of 3. So now we have to go back again. Okay, go back again. Okay, backward. Okay, so backward to A. So to go backward to A, so what happened? Again, we have to follow number 3. Okay, backtrack, the node values are passed. The node values are passed to the parent. Okay, so 3 are passed to A. Node value are passed. Okay, so now we are at A. So what happened? What do we do at A? Okay, so again, we have to check the state. So the state now is max. So we have to update the value of alpha. So in order to update update the value of alpha, so just now, okay, should be okay, should be I update here. Okay, wait. So okay, okay. So just now, A is still negative infinity and infinity. Okay. Okay, and we already prune 9. We already get E as value 5, and we compare D and E to get the minimum value, so 3. Okay, so now already completed, we backtrack to A. So A still have negative infinity and infinity. So and then when we backtrack, the value are passed to the parent, so 3 is passed to A. Okay, so now what happened? Okay, so what happened is, because we are still at max, again we have to update the alpha value. Okay, so alpha value now, this one is the correct value. So max of negative infinity compared to 3. Okay, so which one is bigger? Okay, of course 3 is bigger, so we update the value of alpha as 3. Okay. Okay, now we have another branch to go. Okay, so there is a potential to be pruned. Okay, how do we identify? Okay, we have alpha bigger or equal to beta. So alpha is 3, beta is infinity. Of course, infinity is bigger, so cannot prune. So we have to go through this branch. Okay, so okay, so we have to go through this branch, because 3 is bigger or equal to infinity. No, cannot. So what happened is, okay, let's see. Okay, so we have to go to C. Okay, so we have to go to C. So to go to C, okay, here, to go to C, you have to what? Forward. Forward. So the forward rule is forward alpha and beta value to C. So alpha gets the value of 3 for C, and beta gets the value of infinity. Okay. Okay. So now at C. Okay, we are at C. So at C, okay, it can go. It has also the leaf, so it has to go forward again. Forward again. So again, okay, when you go forward, you give the value of number 4. The rule, alpha equal to 3, beta equal to infinity. You give the value of alpha beta from C to F. Okay, so forwarding. Okay, so now F is at the maximum value. Okay, so now we are at the leaf. Okay, so now maximum, what value we have to update? Alpha. Okay, so we have maximum of alpha now is 3, and beta is the heuristic here is 0. Okay, so of course between 3 and 0. Okay, so between 3 and 0, of course 3 is still the maximum, so that's why alpha maintain the value of 3. Alpha maintain the value of 3. Okay, now let's see about this one. Okay, so okay, alpha still maintains the value of 3. Okay, so what happened? So now we want to identify the value of F. Okay, since F is at maximum, so of course we have to compare the nodes. So compare the nodes between 0 and 1, the heuristic value. 0 and 1, so of course maximum, so F got the value of its node 1. Okay, done with F. Now we forward. Just now forward, we go backward. Backward to C. Okay, backward to C here. So what happened to backward? So we give the value of the node F to C. That's why C got 1. That's why C got 1. So now we have the potential to prune the next successor, G. Okay, so now we got the condition again. Check the condition again, alpha and beta. So alpha is 3 and beta is 1. Of course, this one fulfill the condition. So we have a very lucky today. So we don't have to go through G. No need. Okay. So we have saved our time. Okay. So now C evaluate the node value because it's admin, and also it only have one node here. So again, C still have the value 1. Okay. So now backtracking. Okay, backtracking. So backtracking meaning you give the value of the child value to the parent. So now since A is at the max level, so what happened? So it is between 3 and 1. 3 and 1. So of course A have value of 3. A have value of 3. Okay. So now what happened? So we can see that all the value have been updated. The node value and also the alpha beta value. So make sure everything is updated based on the rule. Okay. And also you already successfully, we already successfully prune 2, meaning 1 leaf and 1 branch. Okay. So we have already successfully done that. Okay. So what happened next? Okay. So now we identify who will win, either max or min, the path for them to win. Okay. So this is where, okay, we identify the optimal value of max. So the optimal value of max is 3. Okay. Because okay. So here 3, 3, 3. The optimal value for max to win is 3. So therefore the path for optimal is A, B and D. A, B and D. Okay. Okay. So okay. So what happened next? Why A, B and D? Okay. Why A, B and D? Because A is max here, and then B is min. Of course, it takes the value of 3 here. Okay. So A, B, D. A, B, D. So okay. So A, B, D for max to win. Okay. Optimally. For max to win optimally. Okay. So now there is another question. So when we prune this leaf node and this branch, doesn't it affect the value? Doesn't it affect the value? Okay. So if we see here, okay, so we at the max at the max state, max state here. So we check. Okay. So of course D it will take the maximum 3. But for E, why do we prune 9 since 9 is bigger than 5? We are at the max state. Okay, that is the question. But you have to remember, before this we have B, where B is min. Okay, so for B to win, okay, it doesn't consider the maximum value. It must get the minimum value. So what happened? So that's why either 5 or 9, it doesn't care. B doesn't care. So if E have only 5, doesn't go to the next node here, it's already okay, because B always gets or always takes the value of minimum value 3. No need to update E with number 9, with the 9 value, because 5 already sufficient. So that's why we prune 9. So you can read here, okay, the reason, the full reason why. Okay. So and then why do we need to prune the branch G here? Okay, with the branch G. So the same concept. So for G, okay, G and F. G and F is the child of C. So G and F is at the max value, max state. Max state. Okay. So But even though it's at max state, okay, and F only get 1 at the value 1, but if you go back to here, C is the minimum player. So minimum player C doesn't care about any maximum value that G have. It only consider this one. It only consider the minimum value of F, which is 1, regardless of what happened here. So 1 will be 1 will be given as value here, value to C. So based on the here, based on the based on the description here, okay, score at F is 1, and he wants to maximize his move to defeat min. Here max score is more or equal to min. So meaning that 1 is max, and max already have a fulfill the bigger or equal to 1 score. So that's why max doesn't have, you don't have to go to another branch to explore. Okay, doesn't have to find another score bigger than his current score to defeat min. Hence there is no need to explore sub 3G. So G is pruned, even though the score at sub 3G for the max will be bigger than minimum score. So but minimum doesn't care, because minimum only care about the minimum value. Okay, so that's why we have we can prune G. Okay, so I think that's all for the description for alpha beta. So you have to complete the exercise of the final year question in e-learning. Okay, bye.